ones for the big day tomorrow. You've got your semi-final match, too. We have no idea who your opponent could be, and Paimon's a little nervous. Since we're both struggling to sleep, do you want to head out for a stroll? We could go grab something yummy, then take a guara to check out the arena. Might be a good chance for our little warrior to get familiar with the lay of the land.
Listen up, Lumi. I've seen Seleno's Radiant Blade Horn in action, and it isn't just strong, it's fast, too. Her best way to exploit both of these traits will be to make her Radiant Blade Horn charge you. You'll have to find a way to dodge the attacks, then pick the right moment to counterattack.
Linnea!
Sure am. What are you guys doing here? Lumi and I were just going over our strategy for tomorrow. Since you're here too, how about letting Aguara join Lumi in some friendly sparring? Lure the enemy in and wait for an opening to strike. Yeah, looks like that's my best shot at victory. But Hemus is so powerful. Even if we do find an opening, I'm not sure Lumi's even strong enough to make it count. I need a better plan. Thanks. Just because I've seen a future where I fail, doesn't mean I'm willing to go down without a fight. Fate is such a mysterious idea. Despite having it explained to me and having seen it with my own eyes, I still find it hard to wrap my head around it.
What does fate mean to you?
You're in a philosophical mood, huh? Well, I don't know if I'm the best person to ask. I've only just learned who I really am. I need some time to think. Besides, I'm an advisor, remember? It wouldn't be very professional for me to start spouting best guesses and speculation. What if I led you in the wrong direction?
Relax. I'm just curious to hear your opinion.
Alright, well, I think that knowing the future is a pretty lousy deal. But then, life's full of lousy situations. When I was a kid, my greatest suffering came from not knowing. I didn't know how my parents would react when I told them the truth. I didn't know where to go when they left. Back then, I actually wanted to know the future. I dreamed of a day that fate would send me a sign. I just wanted some clear guidance on what I should do. Something to give me the courage to go on. But fate didn't show me anything. It was my own stubborn will that got me through. Turned out that the only person I could rely on was me. I've always known what it's like to be terrified of the unknown. And now I'm learning that knowing for sure isn't all it's cracked up to be either. What's the big deal? The world hasn't ended and I haven't changed. What do I have to fear? Yahoo!
Training session over! Feels like these two are really forming a close bond.
All right, I think we're as prepared as we can be. Time to get some shut-eye. Tomorrow, we're gonna face our fate.
This Is everybody ready? Prepare yourselves for the opening match of the semifinals! Our contestants are ready and raring to go. On the one side, we have the Traveler and his partner, Aguara. And on the other side, we have Viliana and her partner, Gornisen.
You can do it, Aguara!
We have a winner! Everyone, please take a short break. The second semifinal will begin shortly.
Great job, Aguara! Hey, Traveler, Linnea and Zelina are up next. Come on, let's cheer them on!
Looks like our contestants and their partners are in position. On the one side, we have Linnea and her partner, Lumi. And on the other side, we have Celino and her partner, Hamus. Buckle up, folks. The semifinals are about to begin.
Yahoo! You can do it, old boss! Go get him, Linnea!
Charge, Hamus! Don't panic, Lumi! Remember your training? I'm right here. Ready?
Yahoo!
Now jump!
Yahoo!
Attack!
Yahoo!
Stop her!
Yahoo! Yahoo! Yahoo!
This is the will of fate. It was over before it began.
Lumi! Lumi!
Huh? Oh? You wanna come with me? Let's go then. The wide world awaits.
Don't worry, Hamus! Victory will be ours!
Lumi! You were amazing! I didn't know you could grow that big!
Yahoo!
You know, you look a little different after absorbing all that Geo. Wait a sec! Could that be it?
Oh, Linnea! Are you guys alright?
Traveler! Paimon, come quick! I figured out why Lumi is different from other Jack Frost! After stories I've looked into, it turns out there was one possibility that never even occurred to me. What if Lumi wasn't born different at all? What if it's all a consequence of her diet? Surely ingesting large amounts of rare ore could explain the development of her geofeatures. I mean, just look at fiships. Depending on their element, fiships can look wildly different. But from a biological perspective, they're still considered the same species. Lumi, you don't have to wait for evolution to catch up at all. You just have to find another Jack Frost who likes the same things as you do. Then you'll have a true companion! I'm so happy you unleashed your full power, Lumi! If you hadn't pushed yourself like that, I never would have had this eureka moment! Yahoo! Linnea, why did you hold back? What do you mean? If Lumi had landed that hit, you and Hemus would have been in serious danger.
Even so, when that hammer started to fall, the future I once saw went blank before my eyes. Did fear cause me to see a false vision? Or did she truly cheat fate for a brief moment? What does it matter? In the end, the pull of fate exerted its force all the same. The prophecy came to pass as surely as the sun rises in the morning.
What's on your mind, sis?
I just think it's a shame. You gave your all in that battle, but it didn't change a thing. Whatever path you take, it always leads to the same place. Fate is so cruel.
Celino, do you remember the question that you asked me? I told you I'd give you my answer after the tournament.
I remember. And I'd still like to know what you think.
You told me. There are many possible roads into the future, but they all lead to the same destination in the end. Well, I prefer to think of it the other way around. We might already know where we're headed, but we get to choose how we get there. Maybe fate will always lead us toward the same destination, but I never cared much about the outcome. I just want to walk my own path. So, even if I was destined to lose to you, there was no way I wasn't gonna give it everything I had. And even if my ship ends up at the bottom of the ocean, I'm not gonna let that stop me from sailing it to every corner of the world first. If all people care about are outcomes, then why doesn't everyone give up on happiness and love? After all, the certainty of death is the one thing that every person knows about their fate. But my feelings, my thoughts, everything I've seen, all that exists beyond the reach of fate. They belong to me, and no one else controls them.
Yahoo!
Lumi, sounds like you agree, right?
Yahoo!
Linnea. Ignorance really is bliss.
Even when we're scared and uncertain, it's important to face the truth head on. You sure about that? Because if I hadn't come here, I'd be regretting it already.
How I envied your cheerful optimism when I first saw you. I thought your happiness was all thanks to your obliviousness to fate. Yet now you've witnessed your fate and experienced failure. And still you haven't let it drag you down. Perhaps I was wrong from the start. The difference between us was never about knowledge of our destinies. It's about having the courage to accept it.
Celino, you okay? You're looking pretty zoned out.
Actually, I was just thinking, I'm happy for you. I claimed the victory promised to me by fate, and you found your answer. A truth that transcends fate itself.
Sounds like I got the sweeter deal overall. But hey, mine and Lumi's journey isn't over yet. So enjoy your victory, Celino. But don't get complacent. Otherwise, my partner here might just take it back from you one day.
That little thing?
That plus our special bond. Let's go, partner. This time it's my turn to help you train. So, Aguara comes from Natland, right? If we're gonna train hard, we should do it there. There's plenty of natural phlogiston around, which will help keep the little one's stamina up. Let's go! Hello, Natlan! I'm back! Give me a moment to set up the tent. I bought this one the last time I was here. Oh, we'll lend you a hand! Now then, Aggie, it's time for you to learn one of Lumi's signature finishers. Watch closely. Lumi, do the honors. Yahoo!
Linnea, do you seriously think Aguara can use a giant geohammer?
From what I've seen, Aguara's fighting style isn't that dissimilar to Lumi's. They both use agility to set up their opponents while searching for opportunities to attack. But Aguara isn't strong enough to break through Hemus's defenses. He needs a weapon to level the playing field. Aguara will need to channel geo-essence from the ground and fashion it into a powerful rock hammer. Simple enough in principle, but it might take some time to master. Aguara, want to try it out? Don't worry. It's normal to fail on the first try. Just gotta keep trying. You'll get the hang of it. Lumi, it's up to you to show Aguara how it's done. Feels like I blinked and 2 whole days went by. I've heard it said that people can find their fates by studying the stars. I guess that means that fate's been looking down on us this whole time, huh? I could really do with some sleep. Good night, you guys.
bracelet really well. Huh? Whoa! Look at all this grapefruit! Aguara, did you pick these for us? Wow! When did you learn to do that? Yahoo!
Are you saying you had help from another Saurian? Who could that be?
Now that Aguara's mastered Lumi's secret weapon, it's time to head back to Notcry. Looks like we should get back just in time for the finals.
The final is about to begin. Contestants, please take your positions. Spectators, we kindly ask you to wait outside the arena.
Oh, it's finally here! Aguara, today is your time to shine.
It's all up to you now, partner. You've done the hard yards in training. Now, go out there and believe in yourself! It's time to write your name in lights and show the world how hard we've worked! You've got this, Aguara!
Yahoo! Yahoo!
Ladies and gentlemen, the wait is finally over. It's time for the Spirit Envoy Championship Final. You'll be very familiar with our contestants by now. Celino and her partner, the Radiant Bladehorn Haymis, who seized their place in the final after a hard-won victory in the last round. Then we have the Traveler and Aguara. This little Tapetlasaur might not look like the most ferocious beast, but this duo have fought courageously to reach the final stage. Who will be crowned champions today? In a few short moments, we will find out.
Back from training camp? Then let's do this. Show me what you've got.
You've got this, Aguara. Don't be nervous.
Impressive.
Haymis, summon Animo energy on your horn and then charge!
Now you see what you're up against. Hiding underground, are we?
Keep charging, Haymis! Jolt him out of the hole! Hemus, are you all right? Impressive. Hemus, summon Animo energy on your horn, and then charge! Now, you see what you're up against. Hiding underground, are we? Keep charging, Hemus! Jolt him out of the hole! Hemus, are you all right?
Impressive.
Hemus, summon Animo energy on your horn, and then charge!
Now you see what you're up against. Hiding underground, are we?
Keep charging, Hemus! Jolt him out of the hole! Hemus, are you all right?
Impressive.
Hemus, summon Animo energy on your horn, and then charge!
Now you see what you're up against. Hiding underground, are we?
Keep charging, Hemus! Jolt him out of the hole! Hemus, are you all right? Hemus! Trample him! March to victory and leave nothing standing!
Well done! Keep it up, Aguara!
Come on! Time to put that training into practice!
Interesting. Hemus! We showed them no mercy!
Dude! That little munchkin's got some style!
It's a trip to the hot springs if you win.
Hemus, full tilt!
Aguara, charge! You can do it!
Hemus has lost the strength to fight on. It's all over, folks. The champions are the Traveler and his partner Aguara.
So, I lost. You did superbly, Hemus. Get some good rest. Seems I underestimated your little partner. I'm impressed.
What did I say? Told you my partner would help me settle the score.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will now take a short break to give our finalists a moment to recover. But don't go too far, because we'll be back very soon for the award ceremony. Thank you to our contestants for your amazing performances. Now we'll be interviewing our 4 top finishers. First up, it's our champions, the Traveler and Aguara. We can all see that Aguara is still a young slip of a Tapetlosaur, and yet the fiercest of enemies couldn't stand in his way. So tell us, what's the secret to Aguara's success? I see. Well, it seems like an indomitable will helped Aguara achieve the impossible. I'm sure we're all looking forward to even more spectacular performances from Aguara in the future. Do you think you're up for the challenge, little one? Next, we have our runner-up, Celino. Let me start by asking, what's next for you and Hemus? Will the two of you keep adventuring together in the future?
No, Hemus doesn't belong with me. I'm hoping that soon I can set him free to roam the wild. And of course, since he's so friendly towards humans, I do hope any adventurers who run into Hemus in the future won't mistreat him.
Sounds like Hemus is a real freedom lover. If we have any adventurers in the crowd, please keep your eyes peeled and make sure not to hurt our friendly, radiant Bladehorn. Moving on now, we have some more familiar faces from the semifinals. This first question is for Linnea. During your match against Celino, you jumped in to stop your own partner Lumi's rampage, costing you a certain victory. Do you have any regrets?
I'd be lying if I said I didn't regret it even a little bit. But who wouldn't? All we can do is live our best life and hope to look back with as few regrets as possible. And overall, I had a really great time in this competition. I found my long-lost family, and we really care about one another.
Inspiring words from Linnea. Now it's time for our final interviewee. Please welcome Viliana from Snezhnograd. Anything you'd like to share with the crowd?
Well, I've been really loving Not Cry. There's so much to see and do. I'm planning to stick around for a while, so if you see me around, come and say hey.
Great. Enjoy your stay, Viliana. Well, folks, we've heard from all 4 of our semi-finalists. Now, to round things off, it's time for a group photo. Thank you to everyone who took part in the Spirit Envoy Championship. We hope to see you next time.
Linnea, I gotta get going. I'll make sure to tell Mom and Dad how you're doing. I know they'll be so happy for you. Without me around, your prophetic abilities will be slow to develop. But you should know that since you've been to the tundra and you've encountered others of your kind, it's only a matter of time before your abilities fully awaken.
I'm sure you already know how I'm going to respond, sis. I'm not afraid to know the future. All that scares me is the prospect of a life without you, Mom, and Dad.
I know. Well, write me whenever you want to see me. I'll be there in a heartbeat. And when you're ready, come visit us in the tundra. I'll give you the address.
Thanks, Celino. I can't wait to see you again.
Long, long ago, an evil dragon descended upon the human world, bringing terrible calamity in its wake. Bravely did the people resist, until at last, the dragon lay slain. Later, a witch with a love for stories came upon the tale of the evil dragon, and for reasons she could not explain, felt a pang of sorrow on its behalf. For she knew, despite its body being born of wicked alchemy, all along, the dragon's soul was that of an innocent child. Right up to the moment of its death, it had no choice in becoming a vessel of calamity, nor could it fathom the cruel fate that lay before it. Though the witch had a love of stories, she was not pleased with how this one ended. No, that won't do, she thought. I'll write you a better ending instead. And so she set off to do just that, borrowing a little magic from her friend. With it, she wove a dragon's egg, resolving to rear a dragon child of her own. Yet long in thought she lingered, wondering what kind of world her little dragon ought to behold upon waking. At last, she made her mind up, adorning the cradle with a wisp of woodland air. Then, she quietly waited for the egg to hatch. The waiting witch did not feel lonely, for she had 3 visitors by her side. Together, they beheld the hatchling's first breath of life. Holding her dragon child close, the witch promised him a life unlike that of the evil dragon. And so, nestled in his mother's warm embrace, did the little dragon's story begin. Even a war that shook the world could not halt the witches' gatherings. Yet even so, with the passing of time, 3 of their teacups no longer came to be set. The witches did not linger long in sorrow, for the story witch had brought glad tidings of her own. Born was her dragon child, safe and sound. Her fellow witches offered up their blessings, eagerly debating how to celebrate the child's birth. In the end, they settled on the sweetest candy they could find. After all, what could be sweeter than the arrival of new life? And so, the witches' gathering turned into a birthday celebration. In the midst of the dragon child's birthday celebration, the seer witch proclaimed her prophecy. The child had been given the evil dragon's name, and with it, the burden of its fate. But hearing this, the story witch vowed to rewrite it all, for such was her love and resolve. And so the other witches offered their gifts in turn, marvels as rare as any in the cosmos. Together, they sought to test one of the fundamental laws of this world, in part to support a mother's love, and in part to sate their own curiosity. Oh, and I almost forgot. Our new guests came bearing blessings of their own. Who knows? Perhaps this extra bit of courage might be all the little dragon needs to change his fate. The little dragon grew with each passing day, and the story witch, who loved him dearly, built him a big, beautiful castle. Yet in the end, she herself succumbed to time's merciless march, setting forth on a journey to a place beyond even the stars. All of a sudden, the little dragon found himself alone. He tried leaving the castle to make some new friends. But already, he had grown the claws and scales of an evil dragon, just as the prophecy had foretold. Afraid he might hurt someone, the gentle little dragon hid within the castle his mother had built, and came forth no more. Fortunately, a brave band of adventurers heard tell of the little dragon's story. Determined to lift his curse, they fought their way through countless trials. To help him, they offered up their blessings and made a wish to the goddess of fate. At last, their wish was granted. Shaking off his scales, the little dragon stepped out of the tower's gloom. But his time in the world beyond the castle would soon teach him this gift would bring blessings and trials of its own. The little dragon became companions with a stray cat with dark blue fur. It was a friendship born of all they had in common. He left his castle at the stray's invitation, setting out to explore the world beyond its walls. There, he grew fond of the outside world, eager to make friends and share the story of his life. Taken by the dragon's story, the stray tried to write it down. But he soon realized that no matter how he tried, it would always warp into the evil dragon's tale. Unable to preserve his story, the little dragon wandered astray. Fortunately for him, a certain prophetess had left behind a prophecy to guide him. The wind took the prophecy and swept it off into the distance, and so the little dragon was shown a path to wander. Following the wind's guidance, the little dragon made his escape. In turn, the prophetess affirmed the little dragon's choice, leaving an extra secret as her parting gift.
Now that you've made up your mind, I shall keep my promise by explaining fate's little trick. Long, long ago, the gods of the high heavens gave the world outside the castle a magic of its own. They called it storytelling. It was a magic of almost unshakable power that governed how people met, grew close, and understood one another. Each person had a story meant for them and them alone, one whose ending was written in the heavens long ago. In truth, your story and the evil dragons are simply two versions of the same tale, and that is something the magic of storytelling cannot abide. Beyond the castle's walls, your story cannot take root, for the evil dragon's tale has done so already.
Guided by the breeze, the little dragon arrived at an alchemist's workshop. There he was greeted by a clay figure, a child molded by the sage witch's hands. Though gentle in appearance, he had inherited his mother's cold, sharp wisdom. And he was determined to avert the calamity the evil dragon would bring, and so was his helper, none other than the little dragon himself. What the clay figure found was none other than the evil dragon's heart itself. Though the creature had perished long ago, its heart was still there, pulsing away and growing warmer with every beat. And the clay alchemist knew what it meant. That the evil dragon would return one day, just as the prophecy had foretold. Yet, guided by his mother's wisdom, he foresaw another fate. If only the alchemist could bestow this heart upon the little dragon, he might be reborn in the evil dragon's stead. Only then would the evil dragon's heart grow still, and the little one inherit its tale. At last, the little dragon accepted the evil dragon's heart, and a new life came into being. The evil dragon's heart beat in his chest, and the little dragon's soul guided him forward. Thus did the prophecy hold true, even as fate had been rewritten, and so was the little dragon born anew. Suddenly, and without warning, the powers of darkness struck. The question was, could the little dragon prevail? Alas, it was here that the story witch's tale had to end.
But Durin's tale, on the other hand, had only just begun. Stepping into his mother's memories, he picked up her pen. And so the story that was ending began anew. He had made up his mind to challenge the fate that barred the way ahead. And so it was that Durin defeated the darkness and rewrote his fate. But his story is far from over.